Die young. Ooh, right. Hey, yeah.
Good morning, everybody. This is Dr. Duncan McCollum. I'm sitting in for Dr. Dave Biles today, and really appreciate Dave having me on. And you know, Dave does a lot of political stuff. I'm going to work with the health issues today because this is first the year's coming, and you know it's really important for people to get their mindset on what they want to do to be healthy. I think it's said that 15% of after day 15 of the first year, most people have already given up on the resolutions. So we want to really put together a plan for you. If this year is your goal to really get healthy, then there's some amazing stuff coming out on health and fasting, which I'm sure everybody's heard about, stem cells, and pretty neat, you know, and you know, I want to just give a shout out to Dr. Dave Biles because he's been a local biodentist for years, and you know, his goal is really to give the best possible oral health that you can get, and he doesn't speak about that too much on the air, but I'm telling you that this guy has really got your best interests in hand when he's talking about you know, the toxins that we have in our body. So really, if you take a look at our health, we are really probably rated about 50th in the world for health right now. And there's a lot of reasons why. A lot of it has to do with our diet and what's in the food we eat. And not only that, but what's in the air and the water we drink. So one of the biggest sought after words on the internet right now in the health arena is fasting. And there's so much information about fasting right now, it's just unbelievable. And we at my office, McCollum Family Chiropractic, are going to be doing a 7-week fasting for health event. And it's going to be 7 Tuesdays where we're going to go over all kinds of different things regarding fasting. The first one is going to be what is it? January, that's it. January 15th, that's Tuesday. At Severino's, we're going to have a room over there at the Best Western in Aptos, and we're going to be talking about the various types of fasting, and we're going to set you up so that you can actually get your health back and learn for yourself how to fast. Because, you know, why would I want to fast? We've talked about this quite a bit on the air, but right now a man named Dr. Poppa has really been leading the way in fasting. Dr. Jason Fung, he's a nephrologist that's just turned the corner on health and things like high blood sugar, diabetes, these type of things. So much disease is related to our body. We have this connection between our gut and our brain that's they're just discovering how important this is in the last maybe 2 years. And the gut-brain connection is, nobody could imagine it was as big as it is. You know, years ago the book came out, You Are What You Eat. But now we really realize that the microbiome, these bugs in our digestive system, really dictate our health. As an example, you know, the humans, we only have so many genes. I think it's something like 3,000 to 4,000 genes of our own. But what the scientists are discovering is all those little bacteria in our digestive system, we are now able to access somewhere around 30,000 genes. And those genes that those bugs have are actually either good ones are turned on or bad ones are turned on. So much of our health has to do with this brain-gut connection. And what fasting has to do with that is we can starve off the bad genes and strengthen the good genes. And, that starve off the bad bacteria and strengthen the good bacteria. So some of the things that people experience when they learn to fast, and this is 7-week course, is going to gradually take you through it. I was talking to a friend of my daughter's this morning, and she was saying, you know, something about fasting. I forget the word. It's like hungry but anger at the same time. Hanger, I guess it is. And a lot of times when you don't eat for a period of time, like it might be a few hours past where you normally eat, your body starts to react. And this fear of being upset or jittery or what have you has actually drives people to eat more food. And we've trained ourselves to eat so much food all day long that our bodies become very efficient at burning fuel. Anybody who uses a wood-burning stove, you know, you realize that you may need 2 to 3 cords of wood stacked outside to last you all winter. And when that, if you were to burn all of your wood by the time spring came, then you were pretty efficient. But if you had all kinds of wood left, or you know, your body's not burning it correctly, that's not a great example. But you know, I think what's really good to understand is we have been pretty much a sugar burning society. We've not learned how to burn fat or ketones. And just look around and you'll see a lot of people have stored fuel on them. And this stuff is causing us to be very unhealthy, causing us to have all kinds of diseases, inflammation in our body, and that could be any kind of things from, you know, achy joints and other kind of diseases related to liver issues like fatty livers and stuff. So, you know, some of the things that we see relating to our body not digesting food well, and some of the things that people are seeing change is like your anxiety level. A lot of people, anxiousness is huge right now, but we realize that about 90% of our serotonin receptors live in or exist in our digestive system. So if we can figure out how to create that connection between the digestive system and the brain the way it's supposed to be, and get all the toxins and all of the bad bacteria out of our digestive system, people actually start to feel better. You get less anxious, less depression. A lot of times people have weight loss resistance, meaning they're not losing weight. They try everything, but no matter what, they just stop losing weight. This is what happens with fad diets, like the keto diet, the paleo diet, any of those diets. They work for a little while, but then your body just stops losing weight because the body adapts to that to a point where it just reaches what we call homeostasis, or no change. So one of the things that we know is we've got to shock the body into changing, and it's a mild shock. But when you go into a fasting type routine, you're actually going to create that. I think what I'm going to do, Griffin, we're going to pull up Griffin's not there yet, so in a minute we'll pull up Dr. Daniel Poppa. There's an interview I did with Dr. Daniel Poppa a few months ago about this January event that we're doing. And so here's Dr. Poppa and me talking about fasting, and this will kind of set the tone to where we're going today. Poppa, and as you know, January, we are going to embark on a 7-week fasting extravaganza, if I would call it. And Dr. Poppa is really helping us lay this out, and I thought maybe you could just give some words of encouragement and or any other advice that people might need.
Well, there's some popular words out there right now, right? Intermittent fasting just happens to be the #1 Google health term right now, right? So if you don't know what it is, well, you'll find out. Ketosis, ketones, right? Another one. I don't know what number it is, but it's in the top. There's a lot of interest in this right now. Well, you're going to learn about that. You're going to learn about how to be fat adapted and why that's important for most conditions that people are dealing with today, even weight loss resistance. But really, we're going to talk about, you know, how all of that works up to a fast and what happens during a fast, where your body actually eats its bad cells, literally. It's called autophagy. Nobel Prize 2016 was won on this term. And more importantly, how it raises up stem cells. Mm-hmm. And by the way, that's when we get older, that's kind of what we lose. And that's why you don't look as good or heal as fast.
Just exactly what are you saying?
Not you.
Oh, okay.
Me too. But anyways, when you fast, you raise up natural stem cells. So this process that you're going to be teaching, we as a group are going to be teaching January, it's basically how to maximize these stem cells, how to maximize this autophagy, and really how to maximize healing in really longevity. I mean, you know, it goes beyond disease. This is talking about living long, healthy. So you're going to learn all of that. You need to be there.
So basically, we're going to be, people are probably going to have situations like autoimmune disease or weight loss resistance, possibly pre-diabetic. People like this might benefit from something like this.
All of it. Hormone dysregulation. I mean, people just don't feel well, aren't sleeping well. These are hormone problems, but you heard so many scientists this weekend talking from stage about these principles and how they create this hormone optimization. And that's why people can't lose weight, right? That's why people don't feel well. So, I mean, you're going to learn it all. I mean, it's something that nobody is doing. We have the largest group doing this. We have, look, $44 million was given from the NIH in this area.
Wow.
That you're going to be discussing. So
yeah,
I think it's worth being there.
So if you're wondering why you still don't feel well, and then you're going to hear some stuff you've never heard before. And we're going to really help you get on the road to recovery and enjoy the next chapter of your life. Okay, so there we had it from Dr. Poppa. And this January 15th at the Best Western in Aptos, it's Tuesday night from 7 to 8, we will be launching the 7-week fasting extravaganza or fasting for health workshop. So if you're interested in joining us, you can definitely do that. It's $15 for the first class. We're just going to get you introduced to it. You can go to a couple different things. You can text "Start Fasting," all one word, to number 474747. So text "Start Fasting," all one word, to 474747. And that will take you to my webpage, and you'll be able to find out more information there and actually register online. And you can also go to McCollum Family Chiropractic /fasting for health. It will take you to the website. So there's some amazing new information out there. And you know what? This is really the thing that you need to get healthy. We're going to actually teach your body how to start breaking down the old cells. Now, Dr. Poppa brought up the word autophagy. Autophagy. It's a very, very interesting word. Dr. Yoshinori Asumi, who won the Nobel Prize for 2016, really studied this. This is like 2016 Nobel Prize winner guy. Discovered that after a short-term period of fasting, your body will break down the weak cells. Now, some people think, don't you lose muscle mass when you fast? Well, if you do it correctly, which is what we're going to teach via Dr. Poppa and Dr. Jason Fung that you'll hear about in just a minute, your body's going to selectively destroy all of the weak cells. Those are the weak bacteria cells, the viruses that can't exist, the bad bacteria that can't live in a healthy environment, as well as your weak skin cells, stomach cells, heart cells, muscle cells, anything that's weak and dying. When under times of autophagy, which is when your body's stressed down a little bit because we haven't been giving it food, your body just says, sorry, you guys got to go. And it breaks down all those weaker cells, and it takes all those nutrients and makes stem cells. So the whole key is improving your health. You don't fast because it's a fad. You fast because you want to get your health back. So that's the main thing. Now on week 1, basically, we're going to talk about and teach you how to control your blood sugar. A lot of times, one half of the population in this country are diabetic or pre-diabetic, meaning that you're having a problem with blood sugar. So we're going to teach you, we're going to talk about that, address it, talk about ways that you can control it. Now, if you're on medications or if you're being treated by some other type of doctor, then absolutely you want to check with them and make sure that this is the right thing to do. But we have, when you listen to Dr. Jason Fung in a little bit, I have an interview with him. He talks about it. He's a nephrologist that was treating diabetics for years by giving them insulin and going with the traditional route. And he has since discovered and was one of the main guys on fasting, and he's turned around a lot of illnesses. And you'll hear it out of his own words in a few minutes. So if you're interested in this, I'm telling you, this is exciting. You're going to get your energy back. You can handle brain fog. A lot of times your cravings will go away. And talk about hormone imbalance. There's so many people that are having trouble with hormones, whether it's thyroid, female hormones, even insulin, which is a hormone. What we know is because the cells are so interrupted from toxicity and in our bodies. It's like talking on a cell phone and having static. The hormones are supposed to get into the cells so that they can do something, but the cell walls are so plugged up with toxins and bad oils that it doesn't work very well. So we keep dumping more and more hormones into a body to try to push them in a cell. So what fasting is going to help us do is clean out those toxins. Your liver is going to become a lot more efficient. One of the goals is to get you to becoming a ketone burning machine. So the second week we're going to start to talk about becoming fat adapted, what that means, and how when you're starting to burn ketones, your brain works better and you're more efficient. When you burn sugar, sugar comes from any carbohydrates, from vegetables to french fries, and or protein, which is meats. Those all burn as sugar or glucose. So they burn in a wood fireplace. If you were burning wet pine, it's all smoky and sizzly, and it might warm the house, but boy, if you open that door, it's gonna choke you to death. Well, that's how sugar burns, and so many people's bodies, just look at them. They're inflamed. You can see they're puffy. They just don't feel well. Their eyes are swollen. These people need our help, and if that's one of you, come to our event, learn about this. You can text 474747 as though that was a phone number, and put in the text bar "start fasting," all one word, and get to our registration page, or go to McCollum Family Chiropractic /fasting for health and register. Our first workshop is the 15th of January at Severino's there in Aptos, and it's $15. Just come on, check it out, find out if this is for you, but find out why everybody's looking at this. So we're going to be talking about introducing you to the gut-brain connection, and as you stop eating so much and fasting, we're going to give your digestive system a break. So many times people are told to eat 6-7 meals a day. The average person eats 17 meals a day, which means that they put a nut in their mouth. That's considered a meal because it creates insulin in your body, and so every time you put food in your mouth, it's going to increase the insulin production of your body until a point where your pancreas burns out and can't make any more insulin. So week 3 we'll be talking about a eating window. So you don't necessarily have to eat less, but we want you to eat less often. So we're going to narrow down your eating window to 4 or 5, 6 hours and teach you how to get ketones burning in the morning. So you're using up your storage. You're using up that wood pile outside. So by the you get down to a lean, mean fighting machine, and that's what your body wants to do. That's how it will be healthy. That's when your hormones are as optimized as possible. Your body's efficiently using the fuel. And the cool thing is you don't need to eat that much anyway. When I first thought of fasting, I went, man, there's no way I'm going to do that. I need my food. But what I find is the amount of food I eat lately is so much less. Now here's some myths about fasting. It's expensive. Well, it can't be expensive. You're not eating anything. It takes too long to prepare. You're not preparing meals. I have to go shopping for all these different things. No, you're not shopping. So really you save time, you save energy, you save money. So what could be better than learning how to fast? So we're going to teach different types of fasting. Like there's something called intermittent fasting where you eat, I mentioned the eating window. So you might not eat for 18 hours. You go to bed at night and skip breakfast, but do something to create the ketone burning. So we're going to start to use this fuel. So that's going to be week 4. And then at week 5, we're going to really teach you how to be even a better adapter. We're going to teach you how to do longer fasts, different types of fasting. Along the way, we're going to be talking about different diets, different types of food to put in. One of the things that we realize is since World War II, we've been able to get any kind of food we want any time of year. You can go get a cantaloupe that, in dead winter, when they would only grow in the late summer here, but you can get them anytime you want because they come from some other place on the planet. our bodies were never meant to be able to eat everything all the time. The way it was in the old days is you go get a mammoth, you'd eat mammoth meat. It might take you 3 or 4 weeks to chase that mammoth down, and then you'd eat mammoth meat for 2 or 3 months. Then winter would come and you'd eat the mammoth fat and the nuts that you'd stored and the roots. And then spring would come and you've already run out of all your food, so it's called starvation spring, which almost every religion on the planet has a reason for fasting. It cleans the body out. It starves off the bad bacteria, the weak cells in your body. And then as another spring comes and goes into summer, the fruits and vegetables start to come in. So that's how our bodies were supposed to eat. And that's how we're most efficient. And each time you eat a different type of food, you're going to starve off the bad bacteria that would normally eat the other types of food. So in other words, when I'm eating fat, the microbiome in my gut, or the bacteria that are supposed to digest protein and carbohydrates, aren't getting enough protein and carbohydrates, so the weak ones die, leaving only the very strong, healthy bacteria that are there to digest the protein and the carbohydrates. Then, when I stop eating fat and eat protein, all of the weak fat microbiome that are kind of lazy, they die off. So this process goes along and along until we actually get a very strong body left with very strong microbiome, and our cells have become very strong. The ketones that we burn get into our brain. The brain loves burning ketones, so we become it helps with the mental clarity. It helps us get our body functioning a lot more, our brain thinking a lot clearer. And who couldn't use that? I definitely can. So I think what we'll do now is we'll go ahead and listen to another one of the leaders in the area. His name's Dr. Jason Fung, and he wrote the book, The Obesity Factor. Really kind of broke the mold on how you can actually reverse things like diabetes or high blood sugar. He also is got a guide called the Complete Fasting Guide. We're going to be going through a lot of his stuff at the event. But here's an interview that I did with Dr. Jason Fung a couple weeks ago, and so go ahead and give it a listen.
Hi everybody, this is Dr. McCollum, and I have Dr. Jason Fung here. Dr. Fung is an amazing doctor, nephrologist, who's really breaking amazing ground. He has been embracing the nation with fasting and how we can actually, through fasting, reverse type 2 diabetes. So we're really glad to have you here, and I thought maybe you could just mention a few things about it.
Yeah, it's not very hard to understand, because if you don't eat, then your body is going to need to use up that glucose, because it's an energy source. So if you don't eat, your blood sugar will fall. Everybody knows that. So then why can't we use that as a therapeutic option? Because now you've got a sort of treatment that's 100% natural, completely free, and wouldn't that be better to do than to go see your doctor and take expensive medications that have potential side effects? And that's the real thing, is that this represents a new option for people that a lot of people haven't thought about before. And it's like, if it works, great. If it doesn't work, well, you really haven't lost anything. Like, you don't eat for a few hours. That's the only thing. You're hungry for a little bit. But you haven't lost anything. But if it works for you, it really can change your life, because that type 2 diabetes can cause so many diseases, right? It can cause heart disease and kidney disease and blindness and stroke.
Yeah, number one cause of kidney failure too, right?
Exactly, and it's no fun. And at that point, if you develop all those diseases, there's nothing you can do about it. And one of the things that people always think is that, well, I can go get some insulin from my doctor.
Right.
And the problem with that is that, yes, you can get insulin from your doctor. It won't make you healthier. That's the point. That if you have type 2 diabetes and you take all these medications, you don't actually prevent any heart disease or strokes or anything like that. The insulin doesn't make it better because it doesn't break the sugar.
Yeah, and you were mentioning too that insulin, most people have a problem with too much insulin anyway.
Yeah.
So when he said, why the heck would you give somebody more insulin if their problem is too much insulin in the first place?
Exactly. And the insulin, as everybody who takes it knows, causes weight gain. You take insulin, you gain weight. Well, how is that going to make your diabetes? Well, it's going to make it worse. So you're taking a drug that, yes, your sugars will get better, but your underlying disease is going to get worse.
Right.
And it's like year after year, you're just giving yourself more medications. And guess what? That's exactly what we saw. So, you know, in the standard treatment, and the scary part, of course, is that you could go to 99% of doctors, even at like the fanciest medical schools, and they'll treat you exactly the same. So they'll give you first a drug, and another drug, then insulin, more insulin, more insulin.
Right.
And they think that they're doing great, but you know, at the end of the day, they've got their heart disease, they've got their strokes, they've got their kidney disease. They haven't actually done anything.
Right. So we are so excited. In January, I'm going to be rolling out a 7-week fasting program. And I think it's going to be amazing. It's going to help you understand how to fast. We're going to do it in a way that you can break into it slowly. So we're going to end up with a 5-day fast, which is going to be awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming here. You've helped so many people. Thanks.
So there you have it. You're hearing from Dr. Jason Fung. And Dr. Jason Fung, again, wrote the book, The Obesity Factor and the Complete Guide to Fasting. And, you know, it's just amazing what he said is basically, you know, traditionally people are treating disease the same way they've been treating it for years by controlling the symptoms or making the blood levels look good, but people still don't feel good. I can't tell you how many people come, well, I will. A lot of people come into my office and they go, gosh, you know, I've got all these medications I'm taking and, you know, I feel lousy still, but my blood work looks good. So this is where we really need to take a look at how your body is actually functioning. And there's some tests that we do that nobody else is doing out there. And, you know, there's a lot of money spent on testing and lab works, and maybe you've had those done and you still don't feel well. Well, we'll be going into that about the 3rd or 4th week. We'll be talking to people that are having struggles with their health that need some other answers. Now, the thing with the 7-week fasting extravaganza, I like to call it, we're doing, is some of you are going to do really well on it. I mean, some of you are just going to get the program. By the way, if you go to 474747 and in the text bar put Start Fasting, you'll get this guide. It's a 10-page guide. It's a word that Dr. Poppa has coined called stemnomics, which is how to create abundant stem cell growth in your body. So if you go to and register you dial 474747 and put in the text bar Start Fasting, you can actually download this yourself and start to read what we will be going over. It's put together by Dr. Poppa, Dr. Daniel Poppa, which I will play his take a little bit later one more time for those of you that may have missed it. But on the 15th of January, you can find out all about this. You can come for a $50 fee. You can sign up online and come find out about what the craze is about fasting. Is it right for you? Should you do it or should you not? Again, some people are going to get in there and fly. Other people are going to have some trouble. And that's why we're doing a 7-week course. So every week you can come. We're going to roll it out in a way that's very confrontable, very easy to do. It's not going to create these huge hangry events, which is, I guess, hunger and anger put together from not having any food in your stomach. We're going to teach you how your body is going to respond, and we'll help you understand those symptoms. And our goal, by the way, at the end of this is for you to now be able to do this yourself. You'll go, you know what, I'm going to do a 24-hour fast tomorrow because I just don't feel very well. You know, one of the things about the digestive function, or of all of the bugs that live in our gut, the microbiome, if you will, there's 100 trillion of them, is they control your immune system as well. So a lot of people, like on the way in today, I heard about some flu epidemic that's coming out again, and no doubt they're going to be, you know, recommending everybody else go out and get this particular next flu injection, vaccine. But quite honestly, why do some people get sick and why some people don't? And a lot of it has, probably a huge amount. It has to do with your microbiome, or the flora in your digestive system. So one thing we know is very few people have a very healthy digestive flora. You can get a test done called the Gut Zoomers when we do, and it will look at over 100 different type of bacteria in your digestive system. It will also look to see if you have parasites or molds or yeasts, things that shouldn't be in there, viruses, and then we know how to go after them. But a lot of people have chronic disease, and all of the traditional medical tests show nothing. They go, they did an MRI of my brain, and I said, did they find anything? And that's kind of a joke, but sometimes they do find major problems, but most of the time they don't know. They can't put their point a finger to why you don't feel well. It's so intricate in our body, the communication between the gut flora and our brain. The more and more we know about it, the more amazed we are. So the reason that you want to learn how to fast is because you want to start to tap into the power of your gut-brain connection, because this is going to make you healthy. Again, so many people are on anti-anxiety pills, or these poor children. There's, I think, something like 50% of them are on some kind of medication for anxiety and stuff. ADHD, which of course Adderall is a class 2 narcotic, just like cocaine, and these kids are being put on this stuff. Maybe without having looked at the child's diet or what they're putting in the digestive system. Is anybody trying to correct the gut flora? Are they still eating sugar, drinking Diet Cokes or Cokes, and having Twinkies? There's I heard something about Twinkies. There's, I think, 20 different ingredients in Twinkies that are subsidized by the USDA government to help pay to keep Twinkies on the shelf. But there's no subsidies to keep organic foods on the shelf. And another thing that you should know is there's 37 million pounds of antibiotics administered in the United States every year. And you might think, well, gosh, I didn't have any. I'm good. But you want to know that 7 million of those pounds were given to humans. 30 million pounds of antibiotics are given to the animals we eat, like the chickens, the cows, and the pigs. So if you're not eating organic food and you think you're staying away from organics or from antibiotics and pesticides and herbicides, you're wrong. And these get into our gut, and they destroy the good bugs, and they allow the bad bugs to come in when our digestive system doesn't work right. Things like anxiety, depression, mood swings, brain fog, all these type of things, hormone imbalances all occur. You can take all the drugs in the world to cover those up, but if you don't fix the microbiome or the gut flora, you're in for it. And the way we do that is by starving off the bad ones, and we do that through fasting. And the jury's out. We know that after 30 hours of a fast, according to the guy who won the Nobel Prize in 2016, Dr. Yoshinori Asuma, that your body's going to create stem cells. Autophagy occurs. And autophagy is when our body breaks down all that bad stuff. So we need to do that. Nothing else is going to do it. You can't take a pill to kill all of the weak, bad cells in your body. It won't happen. You have to learn how to get your body to work. It's kind of like people will go through anything, any kind of pain to run a marathon. They'll work so hard, they'll train. People go to the gym and do these different type of fitness things to put on all this muscle. And, you go to school for years to become a professional. It's going to take some work to become healthy. And that work is don't eat. We're going to teach you how to not eat. Isn't that cool? And we're going to do that starting January 15th at the Best Western in Aptos, Severino's there. Go to my website, McCollum Family Chiropractic, or if you put in McCollum Family Chiropractic / fasting for health, you'll get to the page where you can sign up for this $15 course. That's going to be the first Tuesday, which is Tuesday the 15th. You can find out whether you want to attend the rest of the course. but it's going to enlighten you on ways that you can get your body as healthy as you want, and teach you how to do this for the long haul. So at any rate, I think that it would be worth checking out. You can also text Start Fasting to 474747 or call my office, McCollum Family Chiropractic. So as we're coming up to the end of the year here, we have, I think, 4 days left after Christmas. I'm going to change the subject for a minute because I see so many people under so much stress over the holidays, and so many people have come in with increased headaches or sciatica or low back pain or all these things. And I just want to let you know that for the rest of this year, if you call my office, McCollum Family Chiropractic, and say you heard me on the radio, I will offer you a complete complimentary consultation and examination at no charge. And I want to do that because I want to reach out. I've had my own issues with my health, what got me into why I'm talking to you today, and I don't want people to hold off getting their health checked because of a monetary concern. So this will be good through the end of the year. Call my office, 831-459-9990, and say I heard Dr. McCollum on the air, and I'd like to have a consultation with them. Again, I really want to thank Dr. Dave Biles for relinquishing the microphone this hour. He had something that he needed to do and asked me to come sit in. And, Dr. Dave Biles is one of the doctors in town that really is concerned about natural health. He's a biological dentist, and he goes against a grain of a lot of dentists and the associations, because he believes that you need to put clean stuff into your body, not things like silver and mercury. All amalgams are 50% mercury, and that stuff is creating a lot of problems. And we'll be going over that kind of stuff and how to get that out of your body as well at our seminars. So somewhere within that 7-week period, we're going to teach you what you can do to get the toxins out of your body. Sometimes when people fast, in fact, every time when you fast, you're burning fat cells. Toxins are stored in fat cells. So you're going to have some reactions. Sometimes people's skin will itch when they fast because they're breaking down those fat cells that have toxins and chemicals stored in them. And, some people go, oh, I don't want to go through that. Well, it's going to get you sooner or later, and it's a lot better to get it out now than wait till it creates some kind of bad disease later, because it's a toxic environment. When you have extra fat cells on your body, there's toxins stored in there. We want you to teach you how to get rid of them. And you can do that right now. The science is in. Fasting is the way to do it. Dr. Walter Longo is a professor at USC, and his research has shown that after 30 hours of fasting, your body takes all those little molecules that are broken down, the vitamins, the minerals. When you destroy the cells through autophagy, which is Dr. Yoshinori Asumi's discovery, who won the Nobel Prize in 2016, all of those broken down cells now are made into stem cells. UCLA, Dr. Walter Longo's discovery is we get an abundance of stem cells pouring into our body after 30 hours of fasting. So that's like a day and a half. Seems crazy, but we'll teach you how to do it. We'll show you how to do it successfully, and you'll actually come out of it going, wow, this was awesome. I feel great. How do I do more of this? I want more of that, So just imagine not eating and getting healthy. That's pretty cool. So I think what we'll do is I'm going to ask Griffin to play Dr. Poppa's interview that I did with him again. Dr. Daniel Poppa is one of my mentors, and he's has done so much research. In fact, we're implementing his program, Stemnomics Guide. It's a 7-week program to learn how to fast and get your health back. And you can go to 474747 and in the text bar put Start Fasting, and you can download this for free by just going to my website. And you can get there by texting Start Fasting, all one word, to 474747, or go to McCollum Family Chiropractic /fasting for health. And you can download this, and you can sign up for my workshop that starts on January 15th. And the reason I'm pushing this so much is I really want people to get a chance to get this information. $15 is, just to pay for my materials and for the room we're renting so that you can actually find out how to get your health back. Because I'm passionate. I know your body knows how to heal itself. We just need to give it the tools on how to heal itself. So with that, we're going to listen to Dr. Daniel Poppa one more time.
Poppa, and as you know, January, we are going to embark on a 7-week fasting extravaganza, if I would call it. And Dr. Poppa is really helping us lay this out, and I thought maybe you could just give some words of encouragement and or any other advice that people might need.
Well, there's some popular words out there right now, right? Intermittent fasting just happens to be the #1 Google health term right now, right? So if you don't know what it is, well, you'll find out. Ketosis, ketones, right? Another one. I don't know what number it is, but it's in the top. There's a lot of interest in this right now. Well, you're going to learn about that. You're going to learn about how to be fat adapted and why that's important for most conditions that people are dealing with today, even weight loss resistance. But really, we're going to talk about, how all of that works up to a fast and what happens during a fast, where your body actually eats its bad cells. Literally, it's called autophagy. A Nobel Prize 2016 was won on this term. And more importantly, how it raises up stem cells.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, that's when we get older, that's kind of what we lose. And
Yeah,
that's why you don't look as good or heal as fast.
Just exactly what are you saying?
Not you.
Oh, okay.
Me too. But anyways, when you fast, you raise up natural stem cells. So this process that you're going to be teaching, we as a group are going to be teaching January, it's basically how to maximize these stem cells, how to maximize this autophagy, and really how to maximize healing in really longevity. I mean, it goes beyond disease. This is talking about living long, healthy. So you're going to learn all of that. You need to be there.
So basically, we're going to be, people are probably going to have situations like autoimmune disease or weight loss resistance, possibly pre-diabetic. People like this might benefit from something like this.
All of it. Hormone dysregulation. I mean, people just don't feel well, aren't sleeping well. These are hormone problems, but you heard so many scientists this weekend talking from stage about these principles and how they create this hormone optimization. And that's why people can't lose weight, right? That's why people don't feel well. So anyway, you're going to learn it all. I mean, it's something that nobody is doing. We have the largest group doing this. We have, look, $44 million was given from the NIH in this area.
Wow.
That you're going to be discussing. So
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
it's worth being there.
So if you're wondering why you still don't feel well, and then you're going to hear some stuff you've never heard before, and we're going to really help you get on the road to recovery and enjoy the next chapter of your life.
Okay, we're back, and that was Dr. Daniel Poppa, an interview I did with him a few weeks ago. And if you heard what he said, the National Institute of Health, NIH, has just donated or funded $40-some million to the study of fasting and how it can improve health. So for them to do that, that means that they understand things are happening here. So, if you want to see if there's a way for you to handle your anxiety naturally, depression, if you have weight loss resistance, you just can't get those pounds off and nothing seems to work. If you have mood swings or brain fog or craving, or your hormones are way out of balance, then you should come check this out. It's going to be the January 15th at Severino's from 7 to 8. And you can go to McCollum Family Chiropractic /fasting for health and register. You'll also get this guide, the Stemnomic guide that Dr. Poppa put together. We're going to be working with his information and Dr. Longo's information and Dr. Fung's information, all these experts in the field right now. And again, this is where the National Institute of Health is putting a ton of money because they know that it works. So if, sometimes at first the year comes and I'll ask people, what are your goals for the year? What is your New Year's resolution? And some people go, I never make them because I either quit or they don't work. By the 15th, people have given up on their resolutions. And on your health resolutions, I want to give you a new answer. Regular diets don't work. They might work for a month or two, then they stop working. So whether it's the paleo diet, the ketogenic diet, all these things are great, but they're missing a huge point, and that is You got to do them all periodically. You want to move through the different diets at different times. It's called diet variation, and it's something that we're going to teach, how to know when to eat what, and how to not eat a lot, which is what fasting's all about. We're going to start with intermittent fasting, which means that you're going to limit your eating time each day, but we're going to teach you how to do it in a way that it's not going to destroy your life. It's actually going to make your life great. It's going to make you feel better. Your energy is going to come up. If you've got some chronic disease that you know that you just have tried everything in the world and it's an inflammatory disease, if it's been called inflammatory, then that means the food you're putting into your stomach and into your digestive system is not being met well with the microbiome in there, or the bugs. So we've got to, number one, heal the microbiome. We've got to get rid of the bad ones. We've got to fix the gut lining, which is the first few weeks of this new stemnomic thing we're going to do, the new fasting extravaganza we're going to do in January. Again, go to McCollum Family Chiropractic /fasting for health and get the guide. Download it yourself if it makes sense. $15 to come to my workshop on January 15th. And you know, I just want to see a lot of people there. I want to see people who want to change their health, and they know that medicine is not necessarily getting them there. Not that medicine, sometimes it's absolutely the last thing that you need to do it. You know, I mean, we have the best healthcare system in the world when it comes to emergency stuff, but we need to figure out how to get our bodies healthy. And the answer is in the science. The science says, don't eat so much, eat good food, learn how to have help your body break down the bad cells, get in communication with the gut and the brain, the microbiome and the brain. There's one nerve that comes out of your brain and it goes to your entire digestive system. It's called the phrenic nerve for any of you out there, and that has a direct relation to the digestive system, and it knows, the brain knows when things are working well or bad in there. It knows when your digestive system's been bad or good, so be good for goodness sakes and fast. So the serotonin receptors are in our digestive system. We know if we get the right bacteria going in our digestive system, we're going to feel better. Our brain's going to be better. We don't necessarily have to jump to medication immediately. If you've been prescribed any of that, I ask you, did anybody look at your digestive first or talk about the bugs in your gut, or the fact that the serotonin in there is waiting to get to your brain? We just need to help your body learn how to do it. So there's so much that the science is proving right now. The field of the Human Genome Project that started in 2007 that's where they started studying the microbiome and the brain connection. Again, the microbiome are all the bugs that surround our digestive system. They surround our body. They're on every part of our skin, and they're there to help us. I have an organic farmer as one of my patients, and we're talking about the use of glyphosate and things like that get into our system, and they destroy our digestive system. Glyphosate does. But he's saying how they're actually destroying the fungus. The funguses in the roots of the plant, and those funguses are there to break down the nutrients in the soil so that the plant can absorb the nutrients. So those funguses on the roots of the plant that the glyphosate is destroying is just like the bugs in our gut. When we put food through there, those bugs digest our food and make nutrients for us. So as we move forward in life, we have to realize that things like fermented foods and all those different types of things that some people don't want to eat, they're going to be what's going to save your life. So again, excuse me, this is Dr. Duncan McCollum, and I appreciate Dr. Dave Biles giving me his spot today, and I just want to encourage all of you to look towards a better future next year, better health. And if you've tried everything and it's not working, then maybe you should come to my workshop. Try something new. It's huge. The NIH is dumping $44 million into it, the National Institute of Health, and studying this. The changes that we see through fasting is phenomenal when done correctly. Not everybody can do it right away. You might need help, and that's what we're going to be there for. It's a 7-week program. We're there to help you through it so that at the end you can go, you take your training wheels off, and you now know how to do this for the rest of your life. I literally eat probably a third of the amount of food that I usually ate, because a lot of it was being wasted when I ate it, and it was feeding the bad microbiome that I didn't even want in there anyway. So I hope that this has been a nice change for you guys. Just really appreciate living in Santa Cruz, and I really appreciate KSCO. I mean, this is a station that stands above all others because it allows people to come up here and talk about what's real to them, and nobody's excluded. You have a voice with KSCO, so I really appreciate Michael Zwirling and what he's continued on from his mother and all that. So, one last time, you want to get the guide, a free guide, 10-page guide on how to fast. It's on my website. You go to McCollum Family Chiropractic /fasting for health, and that will take you to a registration page. You can download this guide, and you can actually sign up for the workshop that we're doing at Severino's on January 15th from 7 to 8 o'clock at night. $15. You're going to learn what we will be doing for the 7 weeks, learn how to fast, learn how to deal with some of the symptoms that may or may not come up. We'll answer your questions so that you can get through this, and I really look forward to seeing you. I'm normally on the radio here at KSCO twice a month, and that's on Stepping In the second and third Saturday at 3 o'clock, but Dr. Biles again was kind enough to look to me when he needed somebody to sit in. So I appreciate you, and we're going to go out with Sasha Dobson and Nora Jones in their group Puss in Boots, and this is a great song that Sasha wrote, I believe. Look up Sasha Dobson. Download this music. This local girl made good. Alright, y'all, thank you for watching. And please come to our workshop the 15th of January at Severino's. If you want, you can actually stream it. So just go to my webpage or go to the bar down below here and say, I want to join your workshop. I'm out of town, and we will have a way for you to go ahead and do the workshop anyway via video. So you can register for that. Just say video registration in the text bar, and we'll be sure to get you on there. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
How are you, sir?
Yeah.
Mexico. We've met before, I think. Nice to see you.